Hello and welcome back to my channel. Got a quick guitar unboxing today. Nice hot cup of coffee, and there's nothing better when you're trying to unbox your guitar and cure your latest case of gas. If you know, you know. That's gear acquisition syndrome. Full disclosure, I am a total Fender fanboy when it comes to electric guitars, but this is definitely not a Fender. This is a micro brand called KGD guitars, and they have a broad range of instruments to choose from. I chose the T model, a Tele-Style guitar, because I was going to get it as a project guitar and just upgrade the pots and pickups. But then I thought, what if this thing rocks out of the box? As is with no upgrades needed. That would be amazing. As we clear the desk and make way for our new Tele-Style KGD Relic guitar. Full disclosure, I did purchase and pay for this guitar myself, so this is not a sponsored video in any way, so hoping to find out if this guitar is something you should be considering or if it's too good to be true. Alright, very excited here. Let's get this thing opened up. Feels just like Christmas morning. Just spilt my coffee. Alright, let's try this again. Just put that anywhere, pal. Well, that's a way to put a damper on things. Seriously though, that was not fun. But we're not gonna let some spilt coffee ruin our day. We got a nice piece of polystyrene here, well packaged, pretty simple. We got our guitar inside. Not much here in the way of case candy, just a Ziploc bag with an instrument cable and a couple of tools. Not seeing any manuals or paperwork. But it's all about what's inside, and that's the guitar. As we slip it loose from this padded bag and get to that grass green, there it is. I was worried it was gonna be a little cartoonish with that green, but it looks really nice. Wow, and I'm impressed with the relicing. It looks awesome. Showing off that fine mahogany body. Go over the quick specs here. A cool looking roasted maple neck, rosewood fingerboard with a bone nut, 22 stainless frets, brass saddles, a 3-way toggle switch, single coil pickups, an ashtray style bridge. I'm not seeing a cover plate, but this is very Telecaster-like so far. Rounding out our unboxing, let's just get this Ziploc opened up. We do have an instrument cable, as I mentioned. It looks like we do have an adjustment tool for your neck, which is just a straight pin, and of course a small Allen key to adjust your saddle height on your 3-saddle brass bridge. Pretty cool. But that is it. That is everything that came in the box. Pretty straightforward stuff, but it's all about the guitar, and I'm very pleased with what I'm seeing so far. As you might expect, there's going to be a little bit of a setup required and maybe a string change, but before I do any of that, I'm going to just try to get this thing in tune and see how it sounds out of the box. Got our 3-way toggle switch, volume knob, got our tone knob, all of which have a nice quality feel and look great so far. Let's take a closer look at the beautiful shaping on the body here. We got a Telecaster-like slab, but with a Stratocaster-like bend at the top, and a belly cut, giving you some nice weight relief. I haven't put this on the scale yet, but it feels wonderful. Spoiler alert, I did weigh this in post. We are at 7.3 pounds. A lot of unique shaping on this guitar. Very impressed. Man, I was worried how this would look, and it looks better than I would have expected. If this guitar plays half as good as it looks and feels, I'm going to buy 3 more of them. Currently, at the time of this recording, on Amazon, there's 2 other colors available. You have Sunburst, as well as the Vintage Yellow. I may be checking those out as well. Seriously, not kidding. Because so far, the fit and finish of this one looks just awesome. As we zoom in and take a closer look at those neat tuning machines there, and that roasted maple neck and headstock. Good look at our front fingerboard, which is rosewood with those 22 stainless steel frets that look nicely appointed and finished. Spinning it over, again, this thing feels so balanced and just very well put together. I do notice that the string ferrules are not countersunk, they're raised a little bit. More cool relicing with the buckle rash here on the back. I do notice that the neck plate is not relic'd at all, but there's some nice relief there to make way for the cutaway and easy access to the higher frets, which should lead to effortless soloing and hopefully extreme playability. Just a great looking first impression. I am very impressed and pleased with what I'm seeing so far. Now that said, I've never really been into relic'd guitars, but this one is really appealing to me. But the real test is how does it play and sound. Alright, plug it into my Vox AC15, just tune the strings up. I'm going to let them stretch a little bit. Just give a little test to our electronics here to make sure our pickups and switches are working okay. Side note, I'm not here to sell you on my abilities as a guitarist. I just want to be able to show the instrument and let you hear some examples, so do keep that in mind. Neck and bridge. You gotta love that Telecaster-like sustain. Indeed. We're gonna go with our bridge. First impression on the hardware controls, the toggle switch and the knobs feel premium. If I had my eyes closed, I wouldn't be able to tell you I wasn't playing a Fender. I was not expecting that. That's a very pleasant surprise for me. I do also want to point out I am not using a digital audio workstation or external audio recorder. I am using the camera's onboard mics only, so you're hearing the room and a very unprocessed sound. So just keep that in mind. This is a very unscientific example of the tones. The next step is to let the guitar sit for a while. I'm going to do a preliminary setup on it. I'm going to leave the stock strings on. These look like these are 9s. Ultimately, I will be upgrading to my stock string, which is a D'Addario XL 10 through 46. But for the sake of this review, I want to leave the stock strings on so you can hear that sound. Oh, and by the way, I am extremely impressed with the guitar's machine tuners. They are so smooth and accurate. I was totally expecting them to be lightweight and flimsy and gritty, and that's just not the case. So very happy. And just giving you some more camera views here of the walk around on the guitar. It just looks and feels great. Let's get a close-up of that rosewood fingerboard. Did a very fine job with that. It looks like we have pre-dressed frets. I'm not sure. There's a nice roundness to them. Very uniform, no sharp burrs or edges there. We'll find out more when we put it through its paces, but nothing to see that's going to be any kind of a concern yet. In case you are trying to make this a project guitar, before we plug it back in, I do want to just loosen the strings a little bit and see if we can pop open the pick guard. I do not want to remove the factory strings just yet because I still want to test out the guitar. So this isn't going to be a complete teardown, but I want to give you a quick peek at what we're looking at if you are looking to upgrade the electronics. This is definitely much easier without the strings, but we managed to get enough slack out of the neck pickup to show you a nice routed pocket there, where there should be plenty of room for a P90 or a humbucker pickup if you wanted to upgrade. Well, since the strings are loose, this gives me a chance to just show you the neck adjustment. It's just a little turn wheel here with this straight pin. Of course, this is fully accessible with the pick guard attached as well. All right, let's negotiate the strings carefully and get our pick guard back into place. And we might as well take one more look under the hood here. We'll remove our control plate. You see the base plate's very shiny and new, unrelicked. And there is the wiring, very clean and neat. Does look like we have unbranded pots, no CTS pots here, but something you could very easily upgrade if you're looking to do this as a project guitar. Everything looks nicely in order and easy to get to. Through the magic of YouTube, we've let the guitar sit overnight, and let's hear how it sounds acoustically before we turn up the volume. And this thing has sustain for days. I love it. And please note, these are still the factory strings with no major setup done yet, so we can get a real world test. And I have to believe that this bridge with the wonderful brass grooved barrel saddles is part of that great sustain with that string through design that is Telecaster. This guitar is amazing acoustically. Let's flip on our AC15 C1 with a Celestion 12-inch greenback and get some random tones out of this. And I've always loved the way Tele-Style guitars sound through Vox amps with that wonderful chimey creaminess. So distinct and beautiful. A little brutal with that bridge. Need to roll that tone knob a little bit. In case you were wondering, the instrument jack has a great quality feel to it and is very secure. Okay, if you had to endure that guitar playing, sorry, not sorry. Just wanted to show you the guitar, and definitely not my rusty guitar skills. Hopefully that gave you a good idea of some of the tonality of this guitar. And really, for the most part, this KGD T Relic held its own today. I was the weakest link for sure, but I was really impressed with the fit and finish of this guitar. It mixed very well with my Vox AC15, the Tube Screamer Mini, and of course the Line 6 DL4 Mark II. Two of my favorite all-time pedals for sure. In fact, if you're looking to go for the green trifecta, this guitar with those two pedals, insert your favorite amp here, may just be all you ever really need in a guitar rig. There, I said it. But where does our KGD stand in the realm of guitars? I think the wood selection is top-notch, and on my copy, the wood was amazing. The rosewood fingerboard, the roasted maple neck, that beautiful mahogany, especially at the relic points, looks awesome. And speaking of relicing, I've never been a big fan of it, but I was pleasantly surprised. While not all elements of the guitar were relicked, the ones that were look mostly authentic and definitely wouldn't be a deal breaker for me. The hardware, for the most part, was good. The tuning machines were nicely appointed and turned smoothly and were very accurate. The vintage Tele-Style bridge with the brass barrel saddles is amazing. The toggle switch and the knobs were smooth and responsive. If I was going to pick a downside to this guitar, I would say it is the pickups. They are a little noisy. The bridge pickup especially is a little brittle and has a little bit of ice pick in it, but you can roll that tone knob and dial it in. That small gripe aside, I could definitely make these pickups work. And really, as far as the noisiness of the pickups goes, hey, it's rock and roll, man. That said, in its defense, this guitar is very acceptable out of the box and is an amazing value. I highly recommend this to anybody from a beginner to an advanced player. If you're looking for a project guitar or just to play one right out of the box, thumbs way up for the KGD Relic T. Well, that's what I got for this one. As always, please like, comment, subscribe to the channel, share this content. If this video was helpful to you, please check the links in the description for everything we covered today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.